Hello, welcome into Racing to Win. We're previewing Sha Tin on Saturday afternoon with the 10 race program coming up, and have it all looked at for you right here on the show by our panel members for this weekend. It's Paul Lally and Nick Child. And Nick, it's a good quality meeting.
It certainly is, Mark. Yeah, thoroughly looking forward to this one, of course. And I think it all sort of focuses around 4-year-olds, whether they be sprinting 4-year-olds or those over a mile and a little bit beyond. But we should, I think, get some clues going forward to the 4-year-old series.
Paul Lally here also. There were no jackpots on Wednesday night for the jackpot hunters. What about this weekend?
Yeah, there is. There's a triple trio jackpot of 1.8 million. So that should get over the 4 million mark. There's a few first starters thrown in there as well, as we sort of have been seeing on these weekend meetings. And a couple of them have got good chances, I thought.
They have indeed. We'll have more from the boys shortly, but the podcast series on the website, YouTube, just search hkjc.com, is called Talking with Fen. There's a new edition out, and Fen spoke with Matthew Chadwick, and a little bit of a chat about Matthew's relationship with master trainer Tony Cruz.
When I was a trainee, before I went overseas, I rode a bit for him, and I rode for a few stables, and I wasn't very good, and I had quite a bit of falling off practice.
Okay.
But he obviously saw something, and he took me under his wing and decided he wanted to indenture me when I came back. So that I was really happy about that, obviously, and it's been a wild ride. When I came back, he supported me fully, and I think again it was another transitional period, because I think Felix, who was his retainer, was just retiring at that stage. So, and also Marco Cho, who he had as apprentice, was just finishing his time. So I came at a
at the opportune time, right?
For to come in such a big stable and with so much talent in a stable. So I was given so many opportunities, and it was very pressurized. But he would go through things, but he was very upfront with how he wanted his horse to ride and what he expected. So I knew every time going back to work, it was going to be, there's always going to be a story to tell.
Right.
But in a good way. In a good way. He was tough, but you look back on it, it's
and you were glad he was
a
so
laughable
tough in a way. Yeah.
story. It's great. It's great the way it panned out.
That's amazing. And one of your successes, obviously, can we have that? Can I grab that off you guys? Thank you so much. Ray was kind enough to give this to us, so I'll let you hold that, because that's very special.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that little horse and what he did for you in your career, and the bond that you had, the connection that you had.
He came about quite as a sort of understated horse, because he had trouble acclimatizing, we thought, and none of the big riders wanted to ride him. He had some quirks about him, and we found out that the main issue was with him when they didn't geld him properly, that there was one left in there.
Right.
And he was feeling a bit of pain, so once they figured that out and took it out, he exploded on the racing scene. But I was just lucky enough to be at the right time in the right place, I guess. And after that, it was just a matter of trying to stay on him, because it was a big roller coaster, and he took me through some really good times and some rocky periods, because he was a horse that had to be ridden in a certain way, which I wasn't accustomed to at the time. And he was not an overly big horse. He had to be well balanced and had to be interacted with it in the right way, because he could get very headstrong and on his toe, and because of that he wouldn't, if he wasted too much energy before the race, he wouldn't be able to finish properly. So a lot had to be done in the mornings to help him,
to get him ready,
temper down and in the right mind frame for the race, because he had the ability, without a doubt. It was getting him to use it in the right way.
So a couple of things on the back of that. The Hong Kong Jockey Club YouTube channel has the full interview with Matthew and Fen. Secondly, Matthew is fine. That was filmed in the summer. There is no issue with his ankle. If you saw the moon boot, Nick, it was done some time ago. The left ankle is working as well as the right ankle at the moment.
It is indeed, yes. And Matt certainly in good form. And yeah, really enjoying that series actually with Fen. I think it's fantastic and had some really good guests on there as well.
Yeah, very good. And I tell you that California Memory, just bringing it back, he was such a good horse. And he only was a little chap and he had a heart of gold. So let's have a look at Matthew's record there. He's 512 wins, 7.4% from a 6,890 ride. So he's had a great career here in Hong Kong.
These are his rides for Saturday, Paul. Chumwan Glory coming off a placing, kicks him off in the opening race.
Yeah, I think he's a chance. Invincible Lucky, I think, needs to improve off his strolls. Super Highway's getting down to a winnable mark. Splendid Star, he's just drawn a bit wide. Rewarding Together, he needs to sort of pick up a little bit, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. No, he's been a little bit out of sorts. So too Power Kip and I Keep Winning his final ride. But he's got numbers there, so that's sometimes what counts.
It's time to turn up the pressure on the boys now because we're getting into the meeting on Saturday and it's time for some winners. The meeting gets underway at the normal start time of 1 o'clock. We've got 10 races all on the turf, and the two races that we focus on, races 7 and 9, the Class 2 1200 and the Class 3 over the 1650 metres. The 7th is the trophy race. It's the Pok Oi Cup, and it's a Class 2 with Pinghai Galaxy at the top of the book. Hugh Bowman rides for John Size. Rewarding Together's place 7 from 12 course and distance. Keefe has the tongue tie coming off. Carroll Street, all wins have been at 1,000. And Galaxy Patch comes into Class 2 for the first time. Lucky Encounter has a hood going on. Gummy Gummy is first up, and Winning Icy resumed at Happy Valley. Makes his first turf appearance at Sha Tin, but he does race quite well second up also. But the grey Pinghai Galaxy is going to lead here, Nick. Yellow Galaxy in the race, likely to be the favourite. Patch fall back on the rail.
Yeah, look likely to get back, and you know, he's a horse that probably just needs to still learn about settling, and he can just be a little bit fierce in his races. But Pinghai Galaxy likely to lead. Lucky Encounter had one or two sort of excuses last time, but he'll race close to the pace, has done so. Keefe, he needs to find form, but he's drawn well here. Paul Claimer ridden, so imagine see him prominent.
Yeah, he shouldn't be too far away from an inside draw. Carroll Street gets back. Rewarding Together's drawn the outside, so he may have to go all the way back.
Nick has been a busy man today. He was out at Sha Tin earlier this morning. He's in the Racing to Win studio right now, but firstly spoke to Karis Teaton, re Galaxy Patch.
Karis Teaton, on to the weekend we go. A Saturday meeting coming up at Sha Tin, and you've got a really nice ride on Galaxy Patch in race number 7. Unbeaten on the turf so far in his short career. He's doing very good things.
Yeah, Nick, he's got a good record this season. He's done well so far. Everything we've asked of him, he's produced. So, looking forward to riding him again.
That win last time, Karis, was once again mightily impressive for a horse who just continues to step up to the mark, doesn't he?
Yeah, of course. You know, he kept getting stronger with his wins. Last time with the heavyweight, quite a nice run through. And but just the way he sort of quickened up and put them to sleep was really good.
On what he's been doing in Class 3, going up to Class 2, I guess does that hold any fears in your mind? I can't imagine it does with a horse like him.
Well, you know, it is a big step for them, right? So, but when they show improvement like that in Class 3s, and then of course they sort of hold their form in Class 2, and he have a nice weight on his back, so he gets a good run. I think he's going to be competitive.
What of his trial recently, Karis, as well? You've had a sit on him. Did he feel like he's come out of the race well?
Yeah, I think he needed to stretch his leg a bit. He felt good. I was really happy with the way he pulled up.
Form of his last race working out quite nicely. I think Armour Eagle ran down the field. He's come out and won as well. Now, look, he is a 4-year-old. There's always plenty of talk this time of year of 4-year-olds. He's been raced exclusively at 6 furlongs. Going forward, what's the sort of the ceiling of his stamina capacity at this stage, do you think?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think even Pierre will be scratching his head with this horse. You know, we would like him to sort of switch off a little bit more. He's still you know, getting used of the racing pattern in Hong Kong. And I think later on, you know, of course those races come so quick, and if he had a bit more time, would have suited him, where he could get a bit more racing into him and sort of learn about how to settle down a bit more, because once you're stepping up further, you need to relax. So, yeah, it's a good question, and I think time will tell with him.
And just finally, obviously, you'd know the opposition quite well, at least one of them, Lucky Encounter. Would you see him as perhaps the biggest danger to your horse this time in?
You would think so. He's a nice little horse, and I thought last time Lucky Encounter just traveled a bit too hard and couldn't finish the race. So of course he's a horse that I'm gonna be keeping an eye on.
There he is, Nick and Karis. Paul, start with you to talk about Galaxy Patch. Unbeaten on turf, can't have done anything else.
He should win. I mean, it's as simple as that, really. Look, the way he's going at the moment, only bad luck I think is going to beat him.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's his record. And the one time he got beat was when they experimented on the all-weather. And in fairness, I mean, he was being 6 3/4, but he wasn't disgraceful. But his turf form has been quite something to behold, really.
It has indeed. Absolutely impeccable Galaxy Patch. Opposition, Nick, includes Carroll Street, who runs second here. Pinghai Galaxy ends up running 9th, but over the 1,200 metres, are we likely to see the result flipped on its head for this?
Possibly, yes. I mean, Pinghai Galaxy, has at least won over this trip. He's never actually won over the course and distance, 0 from 3, but worse still is Carroll Street's record. He's 0 from 6 over the distance. I really can't have him beyond 1,000 metres, Paul, but that's the horse he is. And look, there are very few opportunities. I mean, I spoke to Tony Cruz after winning with WizKid, who's actually in that race. There aren't that many races for these good 1,000-metre sprinters. No,
exactly right. So that's why he's in here. Pinghai Galaxy bolted up 3 starts ago on the all-weather, coming back on the turf. He's won once at Sha Tin, but he's just been that one-hit wonder at this stage. He's got Hugh Bowman on from a low draw, and he should lead. So, look, I'm going to put him in on a very minor line.
And has trialled well since that race we just saw, has Pinghai Galaxy. Bundle of Charms had a good season, Paul. He's a horse that has placed numerous times, yet to win, but he hasn't been too far away.
No, again, I'll put him in on a place line as well. From barrier number 2, I think he can sort of sit behind his stablemate here in Pinghai Galaxy. I thought this trial was pretty good, and the horse is going well at the moment.
Wonderfully consistent. He's got himself up to a rating of 86. He was actually struggling to sort of win off ratings in the low 70s at the midpoint of last season, but he's found decent form since then and up until now. So 4 from 18 over the course and distance. He's got all the right credentials to go well.
A Lucky Encounter, Nick, is our last replay. He's been back to the trials. He pulled up with blood in the trachea last time, thus ran 5th.
Yeah, and, look, how much of an effect that had on him, we'll never know. But, clearly there might have been an issue there. That was in the race won by Helios Express. So the form should be good. That was actually quicker ground last time as well. He might perhaps not appreciate the quicker surface also, but I haven't minded the trial. The Hood's going on first time. Andrea Atzani's going on for the first time, so fully expect him to bounce back, and he's put some weight on, Paul.
Yeah, he's won 3 of his last 5, so he's a horse that's been in really good form at the moment. I think he's the biggest danger.
Time for the selections, and in a paddock far, far away, Paul, Wangina met Voltara, and Galaxy Patch was the resultant foal.
There we go, and I think he can win, and that's hopefully for those Star Wars fans he does. 6 to beat, 7, 5 and 1. Galaxy Patch on top, Lucky Encounter the main danger, Bundle of Charms consistent, and Pinghai Galaxy from the front, but I think it's 6 to beat 7.
He's looking like good value, isn't he, for $50,000 is Galaxy Patch. I've also got him on top here. I think he's the one they've got to beat. Over Lucky Encounter, who can certainly bounce back. Should give him his biggest danger, in fact, in this. Bundle of Charm, I think, will go well. One horse we haven't really spoken about is Winning Ices. I mean, his first go at Sha Tin. He's got a light weight, and I thought he was perhaps best of the rest. So 6, 7, 5, 9.
That is the first part of racing to win. Off to a break now. Back with plenty more right after this break. Welcome back to Racing to Win, previewing Sha Tin on Saturday afternoon. Before we have a look at race number 9, it is time for Paul's last run reminder. Looks like we're going race 3, number 4, co-partner Prance, who hasn't seen much of the white thing on the inside called the rail in his 2 starts, Paul.
No, unfortunately he's drawn wide once again. So hopefully he can get some sort of run, because he didn't last start. It was a huge effort from this horse. We can have a look there. He's the one who was wide. He was wide the whole way in this race, and he still stayed on for 3rd. And it was a good form race here. Gallant Valor's come out and run really well once again. So has Super Eagle, and they're the ones that ran 1st and 2nd. And you can see he goes nowhere near the rail the whole way. He was entitled to drop out, but he still fought on really strongly. This was only his 2nd start, so I think there's improvement to come in this horse.
There you go. That is the last run reminder for Paul. You can find a heap of last run reminders too. What is it, 15 per meeting?
Yeah, there is.
On the website hkjc.com. But this one for the show, race 3, number 4, co-partner Prance. Race number 9 is our focus now. It is the running of the Class 3 restricted over the 1,600 metres elliptical. is on the class drop. Cheng Cheng Glory is unbeaten course and distance. Speed Dragon carries just an extra pound for that last start win. Kaying Generation goes up in trip. Simple Hedge, he's had one go over the 1600 and ran third. Harker Radiance and I Keep Winning and need to improve on their first outings. Beauty Missile has the blinkers off. The Pacifiers with the cowls going on. 18 Carat makes his Hong Kong debut on the back of 3 trials. Fallon won at 69-1 last time, charging down the outside. And Not a Few's had one start for a 10th. He goes to the 1600, one over the 1400 at Fairy House prior to arriving. Cheng Cheng Glory, Nick keeps leading and keeps winning.
He does, yeah. Ever since he had those blinkers on, he's been very good. Mind you, didn't lead last time, but then I think that was sort of plan B with him. But as you say, he has shown some really good speed. I Keep Winning. Beauty Missile likely to be up there handy. Simple Hedge, I don't think will be too far away. And Golden Arty, a bit the same. 1 or 2 might just be caught out a little bit deep here, Paul.
Yeah, they could well be in this race here, but look, as you say, he didn't leave last time, so it just shows he's quite versatile. Cheng Cheng Glory doesn't have to leave. I Keep Winning did though in that race, but he didn't go so well. He dropped out, so I don't know if they'll be keen to get into a speed battle like they did last time.
The 4-year-old series is getting so close, Paul, and here is a list of the top-rated 4-year-olds so far. The ones with the little asterisk shows they're racing on the weekend, on Saturday afternoon to be exact. There's 17 of them. Helios Express, rightly so, the highest rating horse.
Yeah, he was impressive last time, and you sort of need to get around that 100 mark, don't you, to win the Derby. So he's already there. Some of the other ones, Cheng Cheng Glory, now he needs to win a couple more, but he's at 79. But since the blinkers went on and he went up in trip, he keeps winning. So some of these ones are going to have to work a bit. Golden Arty, he's in there. Lean Hero ran all right the other day.
He did, yeah, not too bad at all actually. And as you can see there on the fourth and final page, plenty more still. Fallon running this weekend. He's off 65, so he needs to certainly elevate that mark a little bit. And the Air has had the 4 runs now as well. The one I did like on that first page, 83 rated, Ensued. He's your Derby horse.
He has indeed. He was super winning first up in Hong Kong for John Size and done a great job since then. Those question marks too, after some of those horses they're just a little in the air whether or not they go to the 4-year-old series. But this horse is all systems go to the 4-year-old series and can further enhance his chances when he runs in race number 9. Lyle Hewitson once again rides Cheng Cheng Glory.
Lyle, Saturday meeting coming up this weekend at Sha Tin, and perhaps your choice ride, your number 1 ride, is Cheng Cheng Glory, a horse that you know very well, and he is doing rather exceptional things at the moment.
Yeah, he's been an absolute soldier throughout his career, pretty much actually. But this season he's taken things to a new height every time he's stepped out. So hopefully he can do that again, which he will need to be because he's going to be giving away weight to his rivals. So it makes it a lot tougher. But yeah, he's in such good form and. Even his track work just keeps improving, so looking forward to it.
The win last time, Lyle, visually it looked very authoritative. Did it feel that way with a horse potentially heading towards a 4-year-old series?
Yeah, it did. I didn't feel in danger at any time over the last furlong. I felt like every time something would come to him, he would be able to give a little bit more. So he was strong through the line, and I think what was most enjoyable is that after a few strides out the pens, I decided to go to plan B, and he looked to like it just as much, if not better. So it just gives us more options going forward, which is a sign of a good type.
And I guess, talking of going forward now, he's going to obviously progress through this hopefully well and then go on to much tougher races. You sort of need that versatility, don't you, I suppose, with a horse like him, because things do change rather quickly.
Yeah, you certainly do. Once you get a straightforward profile of always going forward, then you're always going to be up against it because people know what to expect. So this just gives us a bit more option and certainly adds a bit more to his arsenal.
Perfect 4 from 4 course and distance as well. Obviously the first leg of the 4-year-old series is at a mile, so he's certainly got all the right credentials for this trip, and obviously beyond that I guess there are questions to answer, but he's done really well over the mile, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and I've always been of the opinion that he'll get better with the extra ground. However, that has to be seen to be believed. So at this stage he's been enjoying it and hopefully continues his fruitful ways.
I know many people might not know it, but you were quite instrumental in getting the blinkers on again, a perfect 4 from 4 with the headgear, so they've really sort of uplifted his form, this guy.
Yeah, it's just great to work with a team like Francis and Vincent and everyone involved. So yeah, if my 5 cents worth can make a difference, I'd be glad to give it.
Sure, they value you a bit more than that. And just finally, obviously, this could be number 100. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. But I mean, I wouldn't mind just getting on the board early on the day too. So, yeah, it looks a tough card, but we'll be working through it.
There's Lyle Hewitson. Paul, your relationship with Cheng Cheng Glory is bordering on unnatural. Do we go again?
Yeah, we have to. Like, he just keeps winning. And the blinkers went on him. He's went up in trip, and he just keeps winning. And I think he's going to go further. He's by more spirit, and he won over longer than a mile as well in America. So I've got no doubt whatsoever he can.
We crack on, Nick, to this replay. Speed Dragon, last start winner. He gets in well at the weights. Like a few of these with the extended rating ban. Beauty Missile runs 6th in this, between them Star Mac and Golden Artie.
Yeah, the one I quite like at it actually is Star Mac. I thought he was not without some sort of chance, actually. I thought this was a really good effort. He's built on his debut, which was behind Galaxy Patch, who also runs on the same card. They've left him on 63, and he's got a very light weight. Derek Lung will be on board. So I didn't mind the way he ran home. But look, full credit to Speed Dragon, the winner. He's done well, and he has trialled since, Paul.
Yeah, both Speed Dragon and Star Mac go in for me. I'm just worried about the pace in the race for them, because he does not like too much pace on paper.
This horse has come off a very short price favourite in early markets. Paul, Car Ying Generation is his name. Can you see him troubling the others at his second start in Hong Kong?
Like to see him again. Look, the California Voce on his outside's racing Wednesday night. So for Black Bookers, you have a look at him. I think his run was just as good as Car Ying Generation if he does run well on the weekend. But look, I didn't include him.
No, I couldn't find a spot for him either, in fairness. I mean, look, I respect that he could improve now going up a furlong in trip, but no, couldn't find a spot for him. But look, he was doing a decent bit of work late there towards the line.
He was 53 to 1 in that race. This horse, Nick, was huge odds Fallon. He's last turning for home and just appeared from nowhere, nearly dropped out of the sky.
He did, yeah, no, fantastic performance really with the blinkers going on, replacing the hood. He was 68 to 1, and he's absolutely flown home, hasn't he, to beat Chateau. Actually, Chateau, the horse he beat, I think he's got a cracking chance of winning on Saturday, so the form could look very good after Saturday's meeting. But yeah, look, he hadn't shown anything in 3 prior, Paul, but this was a much better run, and clearly those blinkers have had some effect, but he needs to do it again.
That's the thing, he does have to do it. He did get the race run to suit, but it was impressive turn of foot.
Straight to the selections. We know who's on top, who's second, third and fourth.
Yeah, Cheng Cheng Glory, I think, can win again. I do like this horse, and on and upwards for him. Simple Hedge hit the line strongly behind Cheng Cheng Glory, then Star Mac and Speed Dragon. 2, 5, 13 and 3.
Yeah, also gone the 2 really. He does look the obvious one in the race, in fairness. His form's been excellent. So Cheng Cheng Glory on top. Over Star Mac, who I've got a lot of respect for. Simple Hedge, I think, can run well. And I've put Fallon in on the back of that big win last time. 2, 13, 5, 11.
All race-by-race analysis on the website, hkjc.com. Click on audio and video. But it is best bet time for the show, Paul. Where do we go?
Cheng Cheng Glory, we've just talked about him. I think he can win. Let's just remind ourselves of that win as well. You can see him there, and he didn't lead this time. He came off the pace because it was quite a fastly run race. So he looks a real stayer in the making. That's Simple Hedge coming down the outside, and he ran on really nicely as well. So he goes in the numbers. But I think Cheng Cheng Glory can win. So he's there. The long shot going to make a horse called Bear Palace. He's been downgraded. He's up to 1,600 metres for the second time. And he just ran really well when the blinkers went on him last time and ran a really good 5th. The play of the day, race 4, QQP, James Tack, Metro Warrior, Lifeline Express, James Tack, a last start winner.
He certainly is, yeah, he was good. My best bet is race 3, number 3, Run Timing. Dennis Yip's charge here. Harry Bentley will be on board. He's ridden winners for these owners in the past as well, so interesting that he has got the call up here. His run here at Happy Valley was a really good effort. He was well fancied into 3.6, and he's ended up finishing 3rd, just getting a neck behind to Geppy. Ran well here at Sha Tin on debut, over 1,000. The 1,200 won't inconvenience him. I think he looks ready to win at start 3. The long shot, we're also going with Harry here. Race 8, number 11, Capital Legend. Down the bottom of the weights, £8 lower than his last win. The play, race 10, numbers 1, 3 and 6 for me in the last.
Well, looks a good lineup, 1, 3 and 6. We'll take the middle one out of Nick's play with Joyful Hunter being the best. Second time at 1,400, but we heard from Vincent prior to that last win. They've got him sorted out now. Crazy Treasure had trialled well and pulled up with mucus in the system following his debut, so we'll give him another chance as the long shot and throw him in as the play in race 2, 1, 5, 8 in a QQP. That is the preview for Sha Tin on Saturday afternoon. This is the diary. Back to Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Then Group 1 racing comes up on the 21st. the first leg of the Triple Crown. The Stewards Cup, the Group 1, unfortunately no golden 60, but it will still be a cracking encounter, as will Saturday, Nick, as will Wednesday nights.
Certainly will, yeah. Looking forward to it all, Paul.
Should be really good. Wednesday night, back to normal now. Wednesday, Sunday's coming up.
It is easy to check the diary. That's been Racing to Win. We'll see you at Sha Tin on Saturday for the first at 1.